to it. We want to hear the businesses. We want to hear the journeys. And that's literally what it's all about. Everybody that's going to be on this podcast this season is going to have a story on how they bet on themselves. Because that's what I'm feeling right now. I love the studio. Okay, let's just say
it's the upgrade for me. Like.
Hey, it's your girl Naja Imani, and we are back with another episode of Let's Talk About It podcast. On this season, we're going to have everyone who has bet on themselves. And today, we have someone who did just that. If you are interested in managing and branding multiple businesses at the same time, this is the episode for you. And we have Kay here, who is going to break everything down for us, okay? So I want to just start with all of your businesses that you have. I have watched you for a very long time, so I've seen you transition from the Black Girl Boss brand,
yes,
right? And then we transition into what I love now. She having me licking my fingers all day on Instagram. Made by Kay Kitchen. Yes. And then on the side, I don't know if you brand it so much, but the We Create Lit content.
Yes.
So let's take a little journey through all of those.
Okay, all right. So first and foremost, Made by Kay is my baby.
Okay.
Right? Made by Kay was conceived in 2015, birthed in 2016, sis popped out, and it's been a lot of pivoting, especially because of the pandemic. So that baby is just like walking now.
Right.
The stage, up and running. And then We Create Lit Media. So I do graphic design. I do all the graphic design for my business.
And I love it.
And it's a hustle too, right? Like when you're an entrepreneur, a Black entrepreneur, like you have up days.
Yeah.
You have days that
it gets a little
where the money at? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, well, I just can't be broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm engaged. I have someone who's, there and they take care of the bills, but it's like I still need my own. I still need to, So I'm like, well, you're good at it and people want it. Right. It's supply and demand. And so at first I was trying to run away from doing graphic design, but I'm like, it's a bag.
It's on the table, And then you have the perfect packages.
Yeah.
You had the logo with this and I'll help you with this. So it's like a perfect branded package.
Yes.
If y'all need it.
At We Create Lit Media.
Yes.
But it's super dope. And my thing is I've always connected with entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? And so that's another way. And I didn't even think about it like that. But I'm literally helping them mold and brand and just put themselves out there and their images out there. And I put it, I put my all into them the way that I would put it into
yourself. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I love that. And then the Black Girl Boss brand, it was the idea of it was to have young women, Black entrepreneurs empowered, but I cannot be doing a million things at once and be successful at a million things at one time. And if I wanted to go further with Made by Kay, and I've done so much with that, I had to step away from something. So, again, I pivoted, right? And I'm like, I still want to help people with their business. I still want to help young Black women. So I came up with an extension of Made by Kay, which is the Cake Coach.
Oh, okay, I like that.
So I keep it in Made by Kay so I could keep my focus there, but I can still do the same thing
and teach and give off that knowledge. Because I feel like that's where I met you at at the Black Girl Boss brand.
Yes.
Where it was more like you created a community.
Yeah.
Even with the brunches and the events, the workshops, it was like you love to give off that knowledge, and then we look at my hairs, girl. That's how you know it's genuine.
Yes.
We took from that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that passion just pours out of you when you're giving off to create that community of Black bosses.
Do you know how good it feels just to be in a room where the energy is just so forceful? You know what I'm saying? Like I struggled with finding, and let's talk about that a little bit with the community. I struggle with finding people like me.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And good energy too. Not just having a goal and a vision, but you actually like me.
Right.
Because we tend to be around a lot of people that don't like you.
And you be like, all right.
Yeah, and they won't support you. They won't repost you. I found myself, begging former friends to post my stuff.
Yep, we've all been there.
You know what I'm saying? Where with me, it felt so natural. Like, oh, my girl
I
got
see
this.
you.
Like, let me
Yup.
just repost
Yup,
my
yup,
sis.
yup.
Let me, and I'm just like, why don't they put that energy into me the way that I would put it into them? And I had to realize, like, not everybody's your people.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
right?
what do you think that is?
I think it's insecurity. I think people compare themselves to what everybody else got going on. I feel like the only reason I'm successful is because I stay in my own lane. And when you stay in your own lane, you understand, like, what's for you is for you. Right? Like, why would you ever be intimidated, jealous, or anything? Like, so what if person A wins before you win? So what?
Like,
Like,
there's a lane for everybody. We
right.
can all win. And I feel like that's something in our community
Yeah.
that we have to learn. But it's like, how do we learn this when a lot of your character is installed by your families?
Yeah.
You know, and that's another
yeah, girl.
that's another conversation, because that is what creates a lot of the people that we're around.
Yeah.
The family foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, absolutely.
So where did you learn your foundation from?
So I think when it comes to family, you have two responses to your trauma. Either you're going to mirror it, right, and it'll be something very negative, or you're going to do the complete opposite because you don't want that energy.
Right.
And I think that was my case. I did the opposite of what I saw in my household. And in my household, like, my dreams and my curiosity about being successful, it wasn't nurtured, right?
It was like a threat.
Yeah. And I never wanted to look at it like that. I don't necessarily know, like, with my family specifically, if it was a threat, possibly, right? But I never looked at life like that from when I was young. It's like, if I win, we all win.
Right.
And I started to learn as I was, like, you know, leveling up. It's like they would kind of be happy, you know, but it's like during the process that energy is just not given. You know what I'm
It's not
saying?
giving
Like,
supposed to give.
it wasn't giving supposed to
Right.
give. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was very weird that, like, sometimes when I was successful, I would hear the bragging, but during the process, it's like y'all didn't like it, and y'all couldn't stand it.
Right.
And I'm just in my head like, what's tea? Like,
What's
the problem? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I feel like now we're able to identify that more.
Yeah.
When we're younger, it's just like, oh my, like, why is this not receptive? You know what
Yeah.
I But I feel like now we're able to pinpoint, even
Yeah.
if it's family, friends, whoever we're around,
Yeah.
I'm able to pinpoint, this is
This
not
ain't
for
for
me.
me.
Yeah. It's not for me because I can identify how I'm feeling from how I felt when I was younger or with my family, you know?
Absolutely. And I think also it's like, as you go further in your journey, you're going to need to be surrounded by something solid. You understand? Like, you have to be around people that's pouring into you because it's required to be successful. So when you're around people that's not pouring in, you're noticing more because you're acquiring more of the people around you. You know, so as I started leveling up, you know, and it's okay to level up. People are like, oh, she leveled. Yeah,
That's the
what
point.
you're supposed to
That's
do,
the
right?
point.
And it's like, it was like, I started looking to my right, started looking to my left, and it's like, something is off.
Why am I leveling up by myself?
Right.
You
right.
know?
And why am I so adamant about having these people in my plans?
And they're not supposed to be there.
Right.
You
it's
know?
like why do I feel this way about y'all? And it's such a harsh reality because the people that I loved most were the people who were giving the least.
Yes.
You know, and I think it has a lot to do with insecurity. I think it has a lot to do with people wanting attention and shine and
that
those things
ego
don't even matter, right?
Yep.
Well, to me it doesn't matter because I'm solid in who I am as a person. And I think when people don't have self-worth, because I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You put your self-worth in attention. I could give a damn about the
Exactly.
attention. I'm doing this for my babies,
Yep.
my future kids,
Yep.
you know, property,
And that's
land,
where you're
like,
able to differentiate who needs to be around you. You get what I mean? Even by the conversations that somebody's speaking, their goals and, you know, their aspirations, you're able to see, like, are you actually going after this?
Yeah.
You get what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like, are your actions matching? Right. Absolutely.
And that's how you know if they match you. You get what I mean? And that's how I started cultivating who's around me, because I have to really see, are you for me?
I want to say, though, too, I love your circle.
Thank
I don't
you.
know. I know no friend clique is perfect. I
Yes,
know that.
yes.
But the way y'all support each other and the
Yes.
way that y'all hold each other down,
Yep.
like just shout out to y'all real quick.
Okay,
Like,
shout
that's
out to
so-
y'all.
Like,
Y'all know who y'all are.
like for real, like the love that y'all give
Yes.
each other, y'all treat each other like sisters, and that's something that I long for a
Right,
long time.
right.
I had a little friend clique in high school, and for whatever, we didn't like each other.
Right.
Like you know what's crazy? I would have never said that before, but looking at it now,
As you get older, it's like
that.
why worry around each other?
We didn't treat each other.
Yeah.
I remember saying let's get matching tattoos now. Let's do matching business now. It was, and then so to see, you know, just to have that example, to see black women, and again, I know that no friend situation is perfect, but to see that situation where y'all support each other publicly, it takes a solid person to support someone else. So to see y'all do it continuously, I be seeing them promote my Kia bag. I see, you know, Hazel House.
Yes.
I'm like, if it's not the black sisterly love for me, like it's just super dope and empowering to see, because that's something that is required to level up.
Yes,
You know?
and I feel like you said, it's important in that foundation.
Yeah.
You know, because some people don't have that strong family foundation. So to have that, you know, 10 plus years, 15 plus years of women around you, that now our kids are growing up with each other.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
So
it's special.
it is so special. I was just saying that, girl, stop with my hairs again. That's how you know I love y'all. But that's how I was just speaking about it on my birthday, that I was just like, sometimes you really don't know how much you really mean to somebody, or, you know, until you see it in words sometimes. Like, you know, even the actions, you're like, oh, this is what we do on a regular, but when somebody actually takes that time and expresses how much you mean to them, you know, it's a good feeling.
It's heartwarming,
it's such a good feeling.
It's called your tribe. It's lifelong friends and lifelong relationships, and that stuff is so priceless, you know?
Even in business and even in building our legacies, because that's how we are, where it's like, okay, if I'm more business orientated and my other friends more about marketing, my other friends supporting word of mouth, that's how we kind of really all molded together.
Y'all the Avengers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be like the power team.
Yes, and it's important because
girl,
not everybody, like we were just saying, not everybody's on your team and not everybody's for you. You
yeah.
know, so it's like while you're really pushing, and that's how I always say, like, that hustle that you have is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, and it's like, that may be intimidating to some people.
Yeah.
Some people may eat it up. Like me, I'd be like, ah!
Because you're on the same type of time.
Yes.
And you, instead of you looking at it as some type of threat to you, you know that nothing can fuck with Naj's success.
Correct.
You understand? Like,
Correct.
and that's how it's supposed to be, because we're not supposed to be looking at someone who's powerful and
as competition.
as competition. You're supposed to apply it to your journey.
Yes.
Like, baby, that's how you level up.
Build together.
Yeah. What would, like, seriously, what would I get out of being upset at anyone on their journey? How is that productive in my life, in my career?
I think,
How?
I'm telling you, I think it goes back to family.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's some families out here that, remember when they had the bacon that put on the table, everybody fighting, everybody scratching. It's like a survival mode in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I have actually known people a lot like that, to where it's like, if they're coming around my family, I'm like, baby, like, we not even like that.
Yeah,
like,
we
you
don't
know,
gotta do
my
that.
mother will go and make some more food if you really needed to, you know? And some people have not been blessed with that kind of close-knit love, really, you know? So it's like, when it comes down to food, any opportunities, anything, it's like we scratching.
Yeah.
You know? And me...
we barely have. And so people, instead of, people don't understand, the goal is to work together. And they think that separating and isolating themselves and trying to steal the pie is going to make them larger than life.
It don't work.
It never works.
And we could have been larger together than where you're at right now if we worked together.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
people think that working together is a suggestion. It's a requirement. Look at every successful celebrity. They have a team.
Yes.
Every last one. There's not one person who doesn't have a publicist, a stylist, an assistant, a hairstylist.
You don't have to do it all by yourself.
You can't do it all by yourself.
Yep. And again, and that's why I'm strong on, and I think we were talking about that too, on how I'm raising my son, even myself.
Yes.
Because it's like this survival mode, it messes up your trust. So now I don't even trust nobody else around my business. I don't trust nobody because he might steal this or he might do this. due to the fact that that does happen.
Yeah.
The world, it does happen
Yeah.
out here. So now it's like, how do I, who do I trust? How do I trust, you know? So back to working together, I love how you and your fiance work together.
Thank you.
You know, every
Yes.
event, y'all, brunch, something, he's doing photography, he's pushing out wine,
my
he's
baby.
helping out. And that is how that's supposed to happen, though, you
Yes.
know? So
it wasn't easy though.
I was about to say, how's that journey going?
Yes, it's beautiful. The process is beautiful. The progress is beautiful. In relationships, like people who are entrepreneurs, your spouse is literally going to be your assistant.
Right.
They're going to be your
As they should.
sous chef. they're gonna be your right hand
Yeah.
in business, right? And so you have to have someone that's willing, right? If you have someone that is knowledgeable and willing, like that's the ideal situation. But not everybody's gonna be knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna come to the table like that. But what my
But are you
fiancé
willing
is,
to
he's
learn?
willing,
Yes.
right? But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because in our community, in the Black community, like we are stuck in this 9-to-5 rat race.
Yes.
And the 9-to-5 rat race, I seen something the other day that said, if you did not get a 6.5% raise, you took a pay cut because of inflation. So people
okay.
always like to say, oh, entrepreneurs are judging 9-to-5ers. No, it's not that we're judging 9-to-5ers. We just see the game for what it is.
Right.
And right now, inflation means that everything goes up. So your paycheck didn't go up, but everything in the
else.
grocery store
Right,
went up.
right.
Everything in the retail store went up. So you don't have enough money. So that $200 don't stretch the way that it did. So before you got 40 items in the damn grocery store,
now you got
but now you got 10.
Yes.
So when an entrepreneur says this to you, it's not to down your 9-to-5. So to get back with my fiance, like he was working a 9-to-5. I'm the entrepreneur type person. Yeah, the 9-to-5 seems safe,
Right.
but that's an illusion.
Yes,
It's
yes.
an actual illusion. And so we had to actually like process through that obstacle where now he understands completely
Yes.
that a 9-to-5 just ain't gonna cut it if we
Right.
want property, land in the back, and our kids' college tuition.
And you
to
know
be
what
paid
it
for.
is, and me speaking for myself, I was always the type to do the 9-to-5. After the 9-to-5, I'm going to the podcast. The podcast is now ending at 10 o'clock. I'm rushing back. My baby's still up, so now I
Right.
still got, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, it wasn't until recently that I actually did quit my job just due to the pandemic and the requirements that they're, upholding for to have a job now. You know, so that's the reason why I quit that. But just speaking from experience, it is a safety blanket.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get out of that safety blanket when you're in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the money is there.
The money is there. And then you've worked, if you think about it, all your life to be at this position. School, college, they're preparing you to work.
Yeah, they are.
They're preparing you to work. They don't prepare, and college can prepare you to be on entrepreneurship and do things on your own. But they
You gotta
prepare
pay
you
for it.
They prepare you to work.
Right. It's
You
like,
know?
why in high school you're not a master of anything?
Anything.
In high school. Like, where am I learning the Pythagorean theorem, whatever that was called? I don't use that.
I don't use trigonometry. I don't use
But
none
guess what?
of
In
that
the
now.
warehouse, I'm sure they use that. Carpentry, I'm sure they use that because they
Yep.
are molding slaves.
Yep,
You
basically.
understand? Like corporate slaves. And that's how I look at it. At the end of the day, if I can't get next to you as a CEO, that's a problem. If I'm not making close to
believe
what
it.
you're making, that's a problem. If my kid's not living how you living, that is a problem.
Yep.
Why are you the average Caucasian income? I think it was like upward of $100,000, right? On average. For us,
It's 50,000, they said.
on average, nah,
For a
the
man.
average.
But what do they have for
said
you?
For the family, black
Oh,
family,
for
it's like
family.
20-something thousand.
Oh, wow.
On average.
See, I was watching the thing when they said, like the average black man, they take home income was like around 40, 50,000.
Yeah, 40 I could see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but even
that,
yeah, like it's
Even that, like, let me go back to, I think I was making 40 at like Chuck E. Cheese's. And this was like, when I first got out of school and stuff like that. And that, do you really think that you can take care of a family, your home, especially in first of all, New York housing prices.
The jungle
babe,
for real. Can we talk about that?
No, really. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then when you really look at it, it's like, this is what we think is a security blanket.
Yeah.
Because we have not went outside the box yet. You know? And so for me, I'm like, that's why I just told you, this is crunch time.
Yeah, absolutely. You got no choice.
This is crunch time. I don't have no choice. But it's like, I'm so excited to see what I can do beyond this box that I've kept myself in. This is the season that we bet on ourselves. I'm telling you, when I came back, I was like, nah, this is what we're gonna talk about every episode, because we don't emphasize enough, the ability that we have to jump out of that box.
Right,
you know what I mean? To get out of this rat race. We don't really talk about, or not even that we don't talk about it, but it's not accessible. Like, it doesn't seem accessible.
And that's what I think. I think that I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say some real
you better say it.
Controversial.
She be up at 2, 4 in the morning. I'd be like, go ahead, sis.
I'm gonna say some real controversial shit. Can I curse on here?
Yes, you can.
And I feel Black people are being punished.
Let me hear it.
For their lack of risk-taking and believing in themselves. What we are going through, everybody loves to blame white people.
Okay.
And granted, the monster, the predator, not all white people, obviously, but we're talking about this racist system that is still upheld that keeps Black people down, because let's get technical.
That's what's going on.
And we've become comfortable as a people sitting in that blaming game. So comfortable that we don't have to look to ourselves for accountability to move forward.
I'm going to say, right, and I love this conversation because I feel like it's going to be so enlightening. I'm going to say I feel like we're blinded. You know? So it's like, yes, we say to play the blame game, with certain situations, but I feel like in certain situations too, I feel like we're blinded. We're in this rat race because, like we just said, after we go to college, we're in the rat race to who can get the most income, who can hit 6 figures first, right? So I feel like we're blinded at the fact that we can reach beyond the 6 figures. But we argue amongst each other about how much you making, how much I'm making. I'm making 80,000. So you feel good because we're blinded.
And who told us 80,000 was okay?
That's what I'm trying to say. Right. We are blinded at the fact that is the bare minimum.
Absolutely. And you know what I've discovered, right? Back to accountability for us, right? Because I can't control this.
Exactly. Right.
I can't control them.
But going forward, we can control what
ourselves.
We do. Yes.
Absolutely. Something that I've noticed on my journey, I've been speaking about independence and the strength of our community since I was young, right? My mother and father, although, our family, flawed as could be, they were very, very strong in how they felt about being Black, right? And so I had that instilled in me at a very young age. And so I'm in 4th grade and 5th grade. I had my friend from junior high school tell me, like, people promote, the Black community now because it's trendy. He said, but you've been doing this since you was 12.
No,
right?
and that was going to be one of my things. Behind
like,
every business, everything that you do, you have an emphasis on Black business and Black luxury.
Yes.
That's another thing.
Yes. And so for me, right, what I've learned on this journey, or what I've seen and I don't like, and now I'm going to call it out every time that I see it, don't stop me from lighting that fire in another Black person just because you don't believe in yourself. I don't even need, to say anything negative. I don't need to do any of those things. I can just say something, a fact, right? Just give a fact that the average Black person cannot afford to live in New York, right? Oh, you're judgmental. Don't talk about my 9 to 5 and relax.
You get real touchy with the 9 to 5.
Relax. like I've worked my whole life since I was 14.
Right.
Nobody is saying that. I'm just trying to put some truth and some reality. I wrote on Twitter the other day, get out your feelings and get into some truth.
Right.
Truth is what's going to set you free. Truth is what's going to allow you to level up. You're in this safe box in your head, right? And so what I've seen on my journey is like there would be people who are open, right? Because we have been blinded, like you said. And so I'm here to open people's eyes. And then it's like a whole group of people that's like, wow, okay, I could do this. Like, it's like they start to build their confidence. But then it's this select group of people, and I've went through this in my family first, and then outside of my family, this select group of people y'all worse than the others, than our white counterparts and our non-black counterparts.
Because you're trying to hold me back even with me gaining some knowledge.
Even when I said to you, all right, I don't have to teach you. Now you trying to stop me from teaching. Like y'all acting like the enemy.
Now the question is, who are you? Who are you to give them this information?
Right, like
Don't
like,
you? I've had that before.
Yes, like who do you think
Who
you
are you? What did you do? And it's like, those are the people that you have to watch out for. Not even watch out for. I don't even need to associate with you.
Yeah, but let me tell you some hard truths, right? Like, I went through this with my mom, right? And I'll just be completely transparent.
Yeah.
I went through this with my mom, and I went on Instagram Live on Made by K Kitchen, and me and Ron had a segment about generational curses, right? And I didn't say who was who and what was what. We were talking about parents, grandparents, just people in our family. And my mom didn't like it.
And it's a hard truth.
Right. It was a very hard truth. And whether she sees it as a truth, that's her experience. I'm going to speak my experience.
Exactly.
And once, not only did she not like it, it's fine to not like what I said in regard to her. However, like she said to me, you're not actually helping people. You're being judgmental. You're not helping people. You're selfish. And you're thinking about you. Right?
Okay.
However, my career says different.
Right.
The people that I've come across says different. The people's lives that I've impacted says different. My life
volumes,
is different because of me being able to identify these real truths.
Right.
But that's just an example, right? Friends, I've always said that friends I could walk away from. People that don't serve me, but when it's your mom, when it's your sibling,
it's
when
a little
your
harder.
Pops, it's different. And I'm only saying this and only being this transparent, right? Because it's okay if it's your mom. It's okay if it's your pops. It's okay if it's your sibling that don't believe in you, that will say something. It's the crab in the barrel, even if they don't see it that way.
Yes.
You're trying to, because you are not
they're
comfortable.
already conditioned.
Yeah.
They're already conditioned.
And the thought of anything outside of that safe space.
It's too wild. It's too
crazy.
much. Yep.
My mama has
You've
told
gone
me,
too far.
Yeah, like, who the hell are you? like, and I love my mom dearly. So it's not to say, anything against her. But I'm not going to not be my best self because you're afraid to be your best self.
I feel like families need to create those boundaries.
Yeah.
Like even in my family now, even with the vaccine, some people are pro-vaccine and some people are not. But don't push it on me.
Yeah.
Respect my no, really. And right now, I found like that's a hard conversation for a lot of families.
But you know why? The conversation is not about the vax. The conversation is about safety versus non-safety.
Yes, compliance and not compliance. Are you obedient or are you not? And it's that is the conversation.
The risk takers are on the side of I don't want to do it, and the safety people, the people who've always been safe, always following everything. They're the ones who are you. And not only and this is the best thing that our enemy has done. They have created monsters out of the safety zone and the safety net, so much that they don't even have to come on to us. It's our own people.
Girl, if you don't, we on church on a Thursday.
Like, come on. And now my hairs is coming up.
It's because it's serious. The enemy is now our families. The people that we have to sit at Thanksgiving dinner with, and now
I ain't sitting with them.
No, now that is a conversation.
Right.
So I had to be the one, and I was telling my family that I feel bad for those who are too young to speak up for themselves. You know what I mean? See, I can speak up for myself. I can say, well, what I'm not going to do is have this conversation while I'm eating my cornbread. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or I have to tell my mother plenty of times, you do what you do.
And I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
You get what I'm saying? I got this. However I shake and bake is however I shake and bake. I got
and God gonna protect me in my
you can't do this and you can't. I got
it. Yeah. Hold on, sis.
I'm good.
I'm a grown woman.
I'm grown.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for those who are 13 and younger, 15 and younger.
You know what we have to do? And this is a harsh Another thing is another generation.
I know we talking about it today.
Like, come on, like you better get into it.
Yes.
I'm gonna protect the youngins, and I'm gonna speak up for them. And I've been in situations where I've had to have full blown arguments. When it comes to people and their children, I'm on my business because I understand. You know, you gonna discipline your kid the way you gonna discipline your kid. But when it's abuse involved, I was a teacher for over 10 years. You understand? A mandated reporter for over 10 years. I've worked in places where there were children with behavioral and social issues. It was my job to report on abuse.
Right.
You understand?
So
when
already
I see
in you.
it from family, it's very hard. And I won't say nothing the first time. I won't say nothing the second time. But when I start seeing like just straight violating in the black community, a lot of us think that, oh, that's just how I was raised. No, that's abuse.
Yeah, no. And that's abuse. And I feel like that is something that is like the denominator here.
Yeah.
That family foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like it carries on with you with whatever you do.
Yeah.
Like you said, whether I want to go along with it or not. You know what I mean? And some of us don't click until it's a little too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where we're old enough to where we have all of those habits. There's some people that have those habits and they don't even know. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know, you're wrong. Like, you know, like how you were raised was wrong. You know, because I was raised like this.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard to break when you don't recognize it till it's too late. You know
what? You know what I love? I love when, like, there's a lot of people who say I'm very aggressive, right? I'm an Aries. You're a Scorpio. We got that energy, right? You know, like we can relate, right?
Yeah.
And but the thing I love holding people accountable because once you have knowledge of what you're doing that's not okay, you can no longer use the excuse that you don't know.
Yes, I agree.
And I had a friend who we're no longer friends, and we were friends for a very long time.
After this conversation,
right? But she couldn't see the things that she was doing wrong.
Yeah,
and which was fine. Like I'm not your therapist. I'm not here to do all that. But what I'm not gonna allow is us to be in a conversation and for you to carry something that I know is not okay or not true.
Yep.
And so what I would do as a friend, I would just enlighten. But that safety zone and the way she was raised is like, nah. And it's like, no. Like, we're going to put facts on the table. Let's take feelings out of it.
They call me a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'd be like, so be it.
8th grade, I had most likely to be a lawyer, right? And
because what we're not going to do is just not going to talk to talk.
Exactly.
And that's me.
Tell the truth.
That's me with everybody.
Truth,
everybody. Like my family know, my friends know. If we going to talk, let it be some facts.
Right.
If you mad at something I did, well, what happened?
Exactly.
At what date, what time?
Put the facts on the table.
So that we can talk about it.
Because I'm not flawed. I'm not perfect.
Exactly.
I got issues. I can say things the wrong way. I've had to check myself
plenty of times.
Very aggressive or overbearing because just because you have a piece of correct information, you still can do that with grace.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm going to work on myself, but I'm still going to hold your ass accountable.
Exactly.
It's going to be that even accountability.
Exchange, yeah.
You understand? So
and
when it
some
comes to
people
the
can't
babies,
take it.
but you're going to have to take it or we're not going to be cool. Because, like you said, building that space around you, building that energy around you, I cannot be around people who are doing wrong things, knowing that they're doing wrong things and refusing to change.
Yep.
That's going to affect my energy.
Yep.
You understand? Like, that's going to, same thing with the babies. Like, I cannot watch you, just wail on your child. Like, I had a family member, he's looking at me like, do something.
Yeah.
I had to curse his mama out.
Yeah.
And I've never done that in all the years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Around.
But how that child is looking at somebody like, save me. And I had to speak up. And again, it was not about raising a kid. I ain't gonna tell you how to raise your kid, but what you did, that's just not okay. Right? And I needed, it wasn't for the adult. It was for the child to see somebody got you. So when I come across a lot of young black men, I love my black men. I know a lot of them.
Again, go back to that family foundation.
I get it, but a lot of young black men, they fuck with me, they connect with me, and you know why? I think it's the patience that I give, but also I know that it's an issue behind how you're responding.
Yeah,
you understand? You didn't just turn out this way.
Right.
Something caused you, and usually enabling ass mamas.
I'ma start with your mama. She should have whipped your ass. I'd be like, don't get us started. Don't get us.
Absentee pops and enabling moms. Like that's the recipe for the black men that we see today. So you kind of gotta like unlearn and it's hard, but it's like I need y'all to know somebody believe in y'all. And if nobody else believe, I have nephews that if nobody else believe in y'all,
you know,
I got y'all.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a way. I'm gonna make some millions. I'm gonna put you in position.
Yep. And that's why it's important for us to create our own communities.
Right.
Going back to your business where it's like you're creating that boss community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that we can feed our kids, so we can feed the men that we have around us, our brothers, our fiancés, everyone that's around us. We can build our own communities so more comes out of that. You know? And that's what I want to speak on too, that I remember an event that we had went to, and you spoke heavily on being intentional. Yeah. Being intentional about the businesses that you represent, being intentional about the business that you even incorporate in your circle. And, you know, I think you had an engagement dinner.
Yes.
And every business that, you know, you had, whether the decor, cakes, everything was black owned. And I really admire that, because that's what's gonna create a better outcome for us as in community.
Absolutely. And stop being afraid to go outside the box. Stop being afraid to look different. You understand? I think like your friend that day, she was like, you know, you keep saying a certain word. I say, yeah, it's marketing. Like, but the thing is, because I believe in it, I naturally say it. But because I'm a business owner, I knew to pick something that I naturally love so that I would naturally communicate and articulate it. Therefore, in turn, it turns into marketing because the more you say something, the more someone hears something.
Right.
Right?
So how would you say, or where do you stand really on the expectations that black businesses have? Because as being a black business owner, and I remember speaking that day too, experiencing, you know, black businesses from a customer standpoint. Right. So where do you stand with that?
I feel
the
like
expectation of black businesses.
I feel like everybody has a responsibility, all of us, right? Starting with black businesses first, right? Because you signed up for this. So there is a level of professionalism that is required. There is a level of doing what you say you're going to do that is required. One thing that I take pride in is just doing what I say that I'm going to do. Right. Standing by my word, being a good person, a genuine person, because business is relationships. So we absolutely have a responsibility as a business to do what you say that you're going to do. Right. You didn't have to start a business. You didn't have to market a business. You can't wait till somebody puts money in your hand and then say, oh, well, I got to go watch Lil Johnny. You knew you had to watch Lil Johnny before you took that $200 for that event. Right. So get your damn babysitter out of that $200 and do what you need to do.
No, that's true. There's
a certain responsibility.
But is the expectation different compared to a white business, Chinese? You know, we hold a different expectation to ourselves and our peers rather than.
Yes, and you said something earlier about trust, right? So yes, we got the accountability for the business, but now the accountability for that black community, right? As a community, we need to give ourselves more grace, first and foremost. Way more grace than we have right now. Yep. You will give grace to McDonald's that fuck up your french fries.
That's what I'm saying.
That never got no damn ice cream. Yeah. You give grace. You order from the same restaurant that will mess up your meal 20 times delivered to you, and you would still spend your money with them. You'll be angry, but you'll still spend your money with them. But when it's a black business, you go to another level to destroy and to destroy.
And I see it happen time and time again on the internet. I know even
and I call it out. I'm in group chats on Facebook and like a lot of the black business group chats, and like my little rants be getting like 1,000 hits because I'm gonna say it. Yeah. Y'all need to back the hell up and actually identify. And I always make this clear. I'm never saying go deal with a business that is not of a certain caliber or of a certain professionalism. Never, because I'm not gonna do that. But I'm a little different. I'm going to give a little bit more grace because I understand that we don't have the same foundational principles yet.
That's what
We're still
yep.
growing into those foundational principles. We're still learning how to make money. We're still understanding funding and all of these things while betting on ourselves.
Yep. While Ben and Jerry are getting that handed down from generations.
They literally, these are multi-million, multi-billion, and even in some instances with technology, trillion-dollar companies.
Yep.
They can afford to have systems in place. And so the thing that I do not like, do not cover your hate for black people and your self-hatred in a rant for a black business. Just say you don't like black people and don't
call
spend
it a
with
day.
them. We don't need you. I don't want your money. If you cooning, I don't want your money. You understand? But when it comes to people who are wanting to give black people a chance and black businesses a chance, like I was saying in that event that I had, you have a responsibility to do your homework as well, right? Before I pay for something, and I spend a lot of money.
You go to your reviews,
I'm
ask
looking
questions.
I'm looking in your tagged photos. I'm looking because you can make something look good on your own. And the tag photos, you're gonna see what it's really hitting for.
They was like, baby, this is what I got.
You know what I'm saying?
What is it? This is what I ordered and this is what I received.
Exactly. But I'll still give the grace, but at least I know what I'm getting.
Expecting.
Right? And I'm not gonna be upset because now I did my homework.
Yes.
I knew what I was putting myself into. Before I spend money, when I go to venues, and like I said, the engagement dinner was a black-owned venue, I went to the venue. I scoped it out. You cannot spend money, and this is what I hate. People know that something is not up to their standard. They will spend the money and think that you can manipulate or control someone into doing what you, it's not going to work. That's not how business works. You cannot call up the CEO of McDonald's right now. You cannot call up the CEO of Amazon
and they
right
don't have
now.
a problem doing it.
And they don't. But you think you can, and it goes back to that foundation and principles that we have with one another, those relationships that we have with one another. From a young age, I've been putting my boundaries on the table. A lot of business owners are not used to it. And I love when business owners come to me like, how do I deal with this? Well, let me tell you. First of all, get your contracts right. Let's get the paperwork right. Because what we're not going to do is have people mess with our energy because you feel like you can. No, thank you. Black or not, no, thank you. I have one life. And you ain't gonna interrupt it.
She definitely was one that told me if someone is hiring you, whether it's for the panel, anything, get your coin. Because we are quick to, especially me. I'm just speaking on experience. I used to feel like, oh my God, this is my second panel. Like, let me just do it for free because, they're offering me an opportunity to come speak when in reality, they called you. So
there's some negotiation there.
Because they seen you.
Your value.
Your value, your worth. So I need you on my team. They could have asked anybody, but they asked you.
Exactly.
But now when you offer that dollar, that is like, you were good enough to be free. But I don't know if you're good enough for this $100. I don't know if you're good enough to be free.
And so as a business owner or an entrepreneur or anyone who is making money as an independent entity, it's your responsibility to level your image up, right? When I have events, I'm calling news stations, not just because it's going to be exposed and people are going to see it. Yeah, that's one half of the benefit. But the other half is that people see me. And when people see me on platforms, right, it's like, who is she?
Who is she, right?
How is she getting
must be somebody.
She must be somebody. So now you give yourself leverage. So now I come back to you with, okay, this is the written up agreement, right? And they don't even expect that from you. So now it's like, damn, she may be worth $100.
Right. You're like, okay.
She may be somebody. It's your job because even celebrities do it. With media kits and all of that, it's our job to sell ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong. But
I might have to meet you after the show.
Let's get on the calls, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's so important because the thing is, right, why grace is so important, this is all new for us.
It's a learning curve.
Right. And it's okay. First of all, it's okay to still be learning yourself, knowing your worth, finding yourself, understanding what you put into the universe through your business, because business is just your creative energy. That's all that it is.
Right.
Your creative energy and giving that energy to the world. That's all that it is. So once you really know the value of that, you can know how to market it so that you get your top dollar and your top worth. Because if you don't believe in that market, if you don't believe that you're worth that $100 or that $1,000, why would anybody want to pay you for it?
And
right?
that's why it's important to bet on yourself.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, like that, I don't know why, and it's specifically those words, because I could say it anyway, but for some reason, it's like, bet on you, Naj.
That's the season.
Bet on you. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, even if you don't know, if you don't have that leverage, and if you don't know, like, how to market yourself, just bet on yourself.
But you know you got it.
Because you
know you got it.
Yeah.
And I love to talk about that as well. Like, coming from, we are Black individuals. We come from a tribal community and tribal communities in Africa, which were very spirit-led. They didn't need validation from people. They didn't need to be told what to do. They followed the inside. They followed spirit. So we've become so conditioned where, like, you can't even jump or move or
pick a damn outfit without somebody validating.
Right. And it's like, when did we come to this? And I think when we talk about earlier, like with insecurity and stuff like that, I think that's what people envy. I don't think it's my looks. I don't think it's my
Your
business.
confidence.
It's right. It's that energy that will not give up. And people struggle.
And wish
Excuse
they
me,
could do the same. You know, I've had somebody tell me, and this was like last year, you always trying to be the center of attention.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, because if you knew me, I never want to be the center of attention. But what it is everyone's energy gravitates towards me.
Absolutely.
You know? And that may be for somebody else that was in the corner the whole time and no one gravitated towards your energy. That may be, that may be intimidating for you. That may be envious for you, because why are they coming to her?
Right. But why does it matter? Right? Because, like, this is the thing about confident women. That's why I love you. This is why I love being around.
Cousin.
Like, right, cousin. And this is why I love it, because, like, when I'm around confident women, like, we're not worried about the other person. We're just in our glory.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
we're just doing us. Like,
yes.
and we know the benefit of staying in our own lane and coming together and just flourishing in our glory.
And it's like, when I see you there, you ever seen that post? I think it was Regina Hall. That may be envious for you, because why are they coming to her?
Right. But why does it matter? Right? Because, like, this is the thing about confident women. That's why I love you. This is why I love being around.
Cousin.
Like, right, cousin. And this is why I love it, because, like, when I'm around confident women, like, we're not worried about the other person. We're just in our glory.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
we're just doing us. Like,
yes.
and we know the benefit of staying in our own lane and coming together and just flourishing in our glory.
And it's like, when I see you there, you ever seen that post? I think it was Regina Hall, like that. And she was sitting in the crowd like, that is my girl. And I'm like, I get like, that's that feeling of, I'm just so happy for you.
You see how I was when I came in here? I was like, let's get it. Like, I genuinely care.
Yes. And it's like, that's the energy that, it's like, one, it's genuine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, you can feel it. Like, girl, my hair's been up this whole podcast because it's that energy that you can feel. Like, I give off genuine energy with anybody. So when you feel it back, it's like,
it's like, but it's such a foreign feeling in our community. Because we're so used to the attacks. Right? So when you finally, and this is why I love that we're in such an entrepreneurial era. Because we're finding more people that are like us. Right? So, but the goal is for us all. You know why? A lot of entrepreneurs understand the idea of community. Most of us want to be successful to help other people. Right? So we have that similar train of thought.
I'm trying to help.
Right.
Something.
The insecure people are selfish. The insecure people are worried about themselves. So, but that's God showing you your karma right in front of your face. The people that care about people are winning. The people that are worried about only themselves, you're miserable.
Yourself. You're with yourself.
By yourself. In isolation, in the corner, mad. Because why does it have to be about you? Why can't we all win?
And that's the question that nobody can answer. Why can't we all win?
Somebody told them that it should have been about them. And back to family and raising, I've had friends who they were taught that way, where the world should revolve around you, right? And in a survival mentality, understand that most of our parents are in their either 50s, 60s, and maybe early 70s. Our parents come from a very survival type of energy. We're from New York. Our parents they lived through the crack era.
Right.
You understand? It was nothing but survival. So I understand, but it's our responsibility to break free from that. We don't gotta survive. We can live, y'all.
Yep.
We can live. We don't have to be on survival
Mold
demon time.
And now we killing each
could
other.
be on angel time. We could be on, like, why I gotta be on demon time? Like, why?
And, you know, and that's what makes it so harder to take our community out of these situations because we've grown up in it. We've grown. There's our whole life. Our whole life we know.
There's some level of nostalgia. I won't hold you. There's some level of nostalgia with ghetto. Like, it's something about being in the hood, being in the projects.
It's
like I'm at home. Like I love. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I love it. Like,
funny.
But the sad part is that so much of our nostalgia is nestled in destruction.
I was gonna say nestled in pain.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's so funny because even with the fact that I moved to Atlanta, I think last year I was back here like every month because I was working out here. But now it's like when I come back, it's just like that, like you said, like that at home feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like as bad as it may be sometimes, you know, like summertimes is lit. You know what I mean?
You outside with your ice
hydrant.
You chilling. Like, you chilling in front of the building on the stoop because that's where we come from.
Yes.
You know, and so I don't ever want us to forget our essence. So I don't ever want people to think like, oh, we trying to, nah, that's that, like we from that. Like, don't ever get it fucked up.
Right.
We're from that energy. We just know
the pain
it's time to evolve.
Yes. And as you get older though, we can always have our ices, we can always be on the bike, but at the same point, it's like the pain that it's causing is not worth it.
It's not.
The pain that it's causing our families, the pain that it's causing our generations, is not worth it.
We have to find a way to take the essence, take the nostalgia, but to discard the pain.
Yes.
You know?
And that's what I feel like women like us are trying to do.
We doing
it. You know, you're right.
We doing
Correction.
it.
We are doing it.
And y'all doing it.
Yes.
And I'm proud of us. Like, this is the most advanced and productive that we have been as a collective. Like, there's way more of us that's not with the ish than we used to be.
Right.
And we are thriving and we are growing and we are loving. And so that's why I even had to kind of shift my focus from the people who were unwilling and angry and all this other stuff, because there's so much beauty.
Right.
And something that kind of troubled me, I wanted those friendships to work. I wanted those relationships with family to work out. Like, and in my heart, you know, with family, hopefully it works itself out. Even with friends, to be, you know, cordial in the future. I hope that work out, but I had to separate myself just to breathe.
Yeah.
Just to live in my essence, right? Because there's no person, and you gotta be a strong-willed person to leave everything that you know.
Right.
And I think that's the scariest part for all of us. You gotta, at any given time, for your freedom, for your happiness, for everything, at any given time, you gotta be willing to sacrifice that for the greater good. And I just think about my babies.
It's hard.
Like, my babies are gonna have a chance.
Yeah, and that's you. We had that. That's all.
You a mama, so you know.
That's all I was thinking.
You know, like Nas. That's
all I was thinking.
He gotta have it.
Okay,
he gonna have it.
Yeah, it's even when he was in my stomach, and it's like I always look back at that moment because I have to give myself that credit too. Like when I had him on that podcast strapped to my stomach, you get what I'm saying? That to me told myself, like, all right, you know you're gonna give your baby a yacht.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, and he's
16th birthday.
He's witnessing it every step of the way. Right. That's what I love the most. Every event I had to do, panel I had to do, my sister, she had him right in the corner.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because they need to see these things.
Yes.
They need to have these success examples that, you know, there's other routes that you can take. I seen my mama working and doing this, that, and third. You know what I mean?
And that's why we modeled that, right? And so now what we did, we just pivoted depleted their energy,
Yep.
right? Like, because imagine, like, my mom, she's a she's retired now. She was a nurse, a LPN, and she ran like a lot of those wards, right? A lot of those, whatever you call them, sections in the hospital, floors in the hospital. My dad, he worked for a nonprofit. I think he still does at this moment as a director. Their level of intellect, just their intelligence on its own, their energy, their likeness. Imagine they had their own business.
Yeah.
They're helping to run multi-million-dollar. I researched their jobs. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
So my dad is the go-to person at his job. My mom was a go-to person at her location, and you are helping these multi-million-dollar companies thrive, but yet your kids can't go to college full rides through you. I used to work for a family where they had their kids paid up already when they was babies. You feel what I'm saying? So for us, it's like, why do we keep giving our energy and putting our energy in places that do not benefit us?
Yep. And I'm telling
Completely
you,
and wholly.
it's just something that we have to break from. I knew, I was an accountant at a time. So at my job, I'm writing $75,000 checks, $1 million coming in. Oh, we sending a $1.5 million wire. But when I got terminated, because that's what happened, right? I sent out a severance letter. And they couldn't give me a severance letter because I didn't comply to do what they asked.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
But I'm transferring all of this money, but you can't give me, let's say, $10,000.
Because they don't care.
They
And
don't
they
care
never
about
did.
you. So when you open up your mind and really see that
For
clearly,
what it is.
for what it is.
Right.
So I used to be that one. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to leave my job because they're so awesome. They're great people.
Yeah.
This, that, and third. Until that switch.
Until you need something for you.
Oh,
They're
no.
great with you when you're beneficial to them. But the moment, and I've always looked at like artists and all these celebrities and stuff like that, as long as they eating off of you, you're a priority.
You're
right.
golden.
The moment that you need something that solely benefits you, whether it's your health, whether it's your peace of mind, it's like the hell with you, the hell with your kids, the hell with your health. If you're not here to help my system run, they turn into like a monster.
A monster, yep. So was it that clear and cut for you when you separated from like the mandators and stuff like that? I know you said you were a teacher. So was it clear and cut for you when you quit your job?
Yeah, so I was making, I started that job in 2011. I was making $20 an hour in 2011, right? Where minimum wage was 10. So I was making double minimum wage at 21. So checks was looking good in
at that
comparison,
time.
because they really wasn't good. Let's talk about it.
Right.
But if we're gonna say in comparison to minimum wage, it was way better, right? Double. And I left the job for a little while, got my mind right. I was a substitute teacher. So I had that kind of like that freedom to go and come as I please, which was intentional, right? I knew I needed that. And so when I went back, the wage had changed, right? And I think it was like $16 or $17 or whatever. And I'm just like, well, they were like, oh, everybody who worked here before is still 20 and up. And I'm like, well, I've worked here for this amount of years. And I was like, I put my all into anything that I do, right? Like everybody singing my praises, right? When I came back, it was just like, oh, well, we're gonna start you on this. So I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Long story short, they kept me on that.
Right.
And they were literally telling me how I was one of the best teachers. Like, you actually care. All the other teachers there, they didn't give a damn. Right. They was like, you actually care. And that's because it ain't about y'all. It's about God. And God want me to do right by his people. Right. So I'm like, okay, if y'all see the greatness that I can provide to
pay me.
I was like, what's up?
What's the
problem?
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with like my supervisor, and she's like, oh, I literally was writing up, papers stating this, and I was here since this time. Everybody's giving me Oh, we just don't have it. I know y'all have it because I know how much these kids, the tuition is. I know y'all have it.
Right.
So it went, like, in that moment, it's like, it's different when you feel like you great. It's another thing for all of them to be saying you great, but I'm still not going to pay you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm begging y'all for something that's still not even going to be good for me.
Right.
Why? Yeah, it's going to be a little stretch for you to build your own, but you know you can.
Yeah.
I said, and in order for you to do that, you need to step away fully, right? Like you can't be a double-minded person. You have to be in it to win it.
Yep.
And I stepped away for good, and it's been up ever since. Like,
but let's speak realistically, right? Let's speak at that time. What was it 21? You said at that time when you walked away. So
I walked away in 2008, like 17,
right.
18, so I was like 27, 28.
So let's talk realistically for a person that as soon as you walk away, aka myself, as soon as you walk away, right? Let's say that last check holds you up. What now?
It's hard. Like it's bad.
Right.
You're at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, but you have to have faith. You have to know it's gonna work.
Right.
Not like you can't
Bet on
quit
yourself.
something and then doubt yourself.
Yes.
Like that's ass backwards. You might as well stay.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Like, but me, I knew it was gonna work, but I also planned for it.
Right, that was
also
me. I
prepared.
planned, yep.
Yeah, like you have to know what you're doing. You can't be oblivious to something and then when something smacks you in the face, you upset at the world. No,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility to be proactive
Yeah.
and not reactive. So I knew that my man had a good job. I knew that he had a second job. I knew that I had skill sets, right, that could make me money, i.e. the graphic design, i.e. coaching, right, with business, i.e. just self-development,
Right,
whatever.
right.
I knew if I needed to get a bag,
You had to get in your
I
hustle
could
bag.
get, right, exactly, and I couldn't be lazy, right? And so for me, that was the birth of Made by K.
Right.
Right? Like I had got fired from a server position, right? Between restaurant jobs and substitute teaching, those were like my two passions, food and education, which is
Right.
still
What
what
your
I'm
passions
doing,
is,
right?
right.
And so so I had got fired in 2015 from my old job because they didn't want to fucking pay me. What's new?
Period.
Right? And so I started Made by K, and then I went back to the substitute, and I realized like, you going to work just for traveling and paying lunch, and you don't have nothing
at the end.
after. So what are you doing?
What's the difference?
Right, like exactly, right. What is the difference from you being in something and just fully being in it? What's that, an extra $30, $40?
Yeah.
So you can't make an extra $30, $40, $50 on your own?
Yep, you better start braiding.
You a bum? Like I
Yep.
started talking to myself like that. You a bum? You can't make $50 by yourself?
You saw that video where they're like, if a crackhead can go outside and hustle.
He can't out hustle me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I like it was just really knowing who I am, because I knew like I would be prideful.
Yeah.
But are you really who you say you are?
Are you
like
really
that
about
was
that?
right, and that was what I had to say to myself, and I'm like, nah, I'm about that.
That's me.
Like-
that's how right now. That's how I said what I had to do. I took that coin. I'm like, all right, we're gonna just go full throttle with these episodes.
Right.
If I gotta rack up at least 12 of them things
Right.
to make sure I have at least 3 months,
Right.
and then from there I'm gonna keep. You keep
Right.
pushing, because now
Right.
you start charging.
Right.
Now you start charging for this. Or you wanna do the. You know what I'm saying? You have to.
And we're gonna talk too, because I know a lot of artists that would love to be on podcasts and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. It's ways.
It's ways, and it's like when you know you have that talent, and it comes so natural to me.
Right.
So when you know and you enjoy it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that's what I always speak about this every episode. This is what it's all about.
Yes.
Like everyone that sits here goes through their journey and have the passion behind their business.
Yes.
And then and not that it's just this season's underlying message, which is bet on yourself, but this is what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's really talk about it. Let people know that this is something that you can do.
Right. And
You
like
know?
you said earlier, like the reality of the situation is that a lot of people think that you being independent is supposed to be smooth sailing. Who said that? Like who told you that you doing for self was going to be easy? Who told you life was going to be easy? Right? And I think as an adult, once you start to accept things for what they are, life becomes much more fluid.
Yep.
Replace easy with fluidity, right? You don't need things to be light and this, that. You need to know what's what and what seasons are for what.
Yep.
Not every day is going to be a stressful day. Just know that, in this season, like you
This
said,
is
it's
gonna happen.
grind mode. So you going to cry. You going to be stressed out. You going to spend a little money. You going to be down at zero. Prepare for it.
Yeah.
So that you can get the fruit out of the season,
Yeah.
so you can move on, so you can enjoy that chill season.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, but be proactive, and this is why I love what I do because I'm gonna be a realist before anything. Your comfort wants me to hold your hand. I'm not gonna do it.
I know that's right.
Because it's not gonna help you. So a lot of people, oh, you're too aggressive, you're judgmental. No,
Baby.
you just not ready.
Yes.
You just
I
not
said,
ready, and
baby.
that's okay.
Baby.
That's okay.
But I can't mold and twist myself to your comfort. I can't do that.
And I'm never going to be the person that's not going to help you for real. So if you want to be
what am I
that,
here for?
Exactly. What does that do? That does nothing for your growth. It does nothing for my growth.
Yep.
I still want to be stimulated.
Yep.
Me helping people, me being here, we bouncing off of each other's energy. But you have to have a certain level of knowledge of self.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've been on a journey in this last 2 years for knowledge of self. And although I've always been the same in my essence and what I've brought to people, I'm like, just knowing who I am, I get to be very selective of where I exert my energy. Everybody is not deserving. Like, because there's somebody who actually will apply what I'm saying. And not only that, they will be nice to me. They will be happy. They would give
like
me back. Like, but not just accepting. Give me good energy back. Why am I forcing myself to tell you something? You know, so a long time ago, I stopped helping motherfuckers that didn't want to be helped. That's not my job. Maybe I'm not your messenger.
But you did your job when you first extended that hand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
after you, because it's natural to us. It's
Right.
natural to us.
Right.
Like, if somebody call me with a problem, I'm a natural solver.
Well,
you know
now
what
I know that.
Call me up.
I'm
Call me
gonna
up.
call you. Let's get a drink. Sis. You in New York? You in New York?
I'm so serious. That's always been me. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you are friends and you close. It's like, oh, you have a problem? Okay, so what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like, I can't do that, and then I can't do the same for you. You know what I mean? Well, you can't do the same for me. Or with anything that
Pour in my cup.
And then I can pour in yours.
Right. Like, it's supposed to be a reciprocating type of energy.
And I think it's very important that you said you have to know yourself. So you take this out. My last year that I took off, that was my realignment year. I called that my realignment year because it was a lot of things that happened previously that kind of threw me off my track. You know, kind of had me questioning myself, had me like, dang, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? So I had to really use that time, which was when I moved away. Because I needed that grass. I needed that. You have to know your same place. Like, where is your same place? Is it a library? Is it your kitchen? You know what I mean? Where is your same place that you can lock everybody else out and just channel into yourself?
And can we talk about environment and the role that it plays on your sanity, on your health? Sometimes people don't even understand. Even the food that we're eating, everything plays into this version of you that you're experiencing that is not your best self. And people call the Bronx the jungle, right? I'm originally from Washington Heights, moved to the Bronx when I was 7. Been in the Bronx my whole life. They love to use that as like a marketing strategy. Oh, the jungle, New York, da-da-da. We really live in poorly and not in our light and our essence. That's why I'm moving. That's why I'm, as a black person with melanin, I need sun. There's no sun nowhere. I need organic fruit. Why do I have to go to 12 supermarkets before I can put, and I don't even know if it's real organic.
I'm about to say. But that's the thing where it's like, we wouldn't even, growing up here, you wouldn't even know that you're missing out on something until you see something better. Because, you know, like, you can have a small apartment, but if you dress it up real nice, you'll feel better. You'll feel at home. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
then what happens when we max it out, though, right? Because I live in a better area of the Bronx, right? Like Uptown is a little bit better than South Bronx, different areas. So I live in like a decent area in the Bronx, right? I live in a studio apartment, but the studio is beautiful, right? It's just me and my fiance, so we got ample space. Like, you know, I sleep in a king size bed. Oh, that's good. Right? But I'm still not fulfilled to the potential.
And that's when you know, I want more.
Right. And it's like, what, like, I had to really, like you said, your realignment. Yeah, I felt that. Because it's like, what's missing? Right? I realized, right, when because I always used to write. So when I started writing again, in this last year. I wanted to go outside and write. There was nowhere for me to go.
Yes.
The park was full of kids and flying balls, right? In front of my building, there's no area to sit. There's a grass park by where I'm at, but that grass is like
Not grass.
it's not grass, and it's dirty, and it
It's
looks like it's gonna make you
give you
itch.
that inspiration.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
and right, and it's like all of our streets are narrow. So even if the grass is right there, like it's cars right on the side of you. So I realized, like even like a couple months ago, I'm like, damn, I can't even go outside and write. I took my book outside. I went to a bench, and it was just like
My environment kind of like
it suffocated me.
See, I used to travel. Well, even now, like when I come back, I have the same place out here, and I travel all the way downtown just to go there.
Damn.
That's the sad part about it. Like I would travel all the way. It's like an hour ride, just to go there. Probably spend, a little hour or two, and that's where I would write, read, and then travel a whole hour back.
So you feel me on that?
No,
like,
and that's where I said to myself, I know what I want. I know what I need my environment to be like for me to think.
yes.
Let alone write. I need to think first.
And people who are still in a conditioning system, they don't understand the value of that. That's why they don't know that they need it yet. The moment that they come out of it, it's like, yo, I don't got what I need to be successful. Right? But it's like, I get that everybody gets there on their own, but we a community.
No.
So if you fucked up, then I mean we fucked up. And so I got to say something
and that's
to wake
why
somebody
it starts
up.
with us.
Yeah.
It starts with, and we just happen to be, like you said, we happen to be few of the strong ones that, even with our environment the way it is, we still can create.
Because you got no choice.
I have no choice.
Yeah.
I still have to create the different avenues, different streams of income, different, I'm still like, but there's some people who get lost in that depression, who get lost.
I did. Like, even being strong, you get lost.
Yeah, and that's what people don't.
Yeah, like
being that
just because
strong
you see
friend,
the
check on your
results-
strong friends.
Results come from pain.
Yeah.
And especially when it's us, like we don't have nothing. We are literally creating something out of nothing. But you know why I said I'm not doing that no more? I shouldn't have to bring myself down to rock bottom every time I want to produce a result. It got to be a better way that I don't destroy myself in the process.
I feel like you know what it is to, when you say that, I feel like we've been accustomed to think that for a long time, and you may have been at rock bottom at the first time you've created something, but once you've made that first creation, you may feel like you're at rock bottom again, right? You may go back down, but you're always a level up than when you were the last time.
I'm talking about like energy. In terms of business, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, because your knowledge is not where it was before.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But with me, right? I agree that business-wise, everything is leveling up, right? But when I say my energy, I don't want to destroy myself every level.
Right.
Because there's going to come a time where I feel depleted.
Left. Yeah.
So I want to win, but be able to enjoy my wins.
Yes.
So environment, and that's why I'm moving to somewhere sunny.
Yes.
And somewhere where I can go on my balcony and be that best self that I know that I can be.
For those who can't, just up and move, I really, really recommend finding, even if you have to travel that hour away,
right?
Finding that spot that you can go away to,
right.
Because there's some small spots that you may, and I even I recently just went and looked up coffee shops.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Some small knit coffee shops where you can actually do that. So I really recommend those to do that. So if we wanted to just close up and give someone that's aspired to be in business, aspired to even just, be that better person in their community, what would that tip be for them?
Find yourself and do everything from your heart. And that's all you have to do. Find yourself, do everything from your heart, and never give up on yourself. Don't quit on yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I know what I'm going to say. Bet on yourself, because that authentic
Poo.
energy is something that you cannot replace.
It will carry you.
Yes. Like it will bring you into rooms that you never thought you would be into. Opportunities will fall on your plate that you never thought would be there just by being yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's something that nobody can take from you.
Absolutely.
Like,
you will be a transformed person. You will feel better. Ask yourself now, do you feel good? Well, change that.
let me just tell you, this was a therapeutic session for me. I feel like every time we talk,
Always.
But I want you to just give them your handles, for each of the businesses. I want them to know what they can come to you for. So.
Yes, Made by K Kitchen. I'm a food and lifestyle blogger. I love Black people and I love food, so you can find me there. And if you need some graphic design, we create lit media on all platforms. Made by K Kitchen, all platforms.
And are we still doing the Made by K events?
Inside of Made by K Kitchen.
Hit
Hit us up. We giving away grants and all that. So
Okay.
hit us up.
No, really. And I feel like, this is what it's all about. I love this platform, and this is what I miss. Like, I miss this so much.
Yes,
You don't even
thank you
understand.
for having me,
You're
baby.
so welcome.
Mwah.
But I love this platform because people can get on and tell their journeys, walk me to what you're thinking. Walk me into why you created this business, how you're feeling now, who you're impacting.
Yes.
This is what it's all about, because this is the stories that we don't hear. Give the gossip a break and just really sit back and listen to your community, listen to the businesses, and you might be the next one,
Right.
So if there's anyone that would love to sit here on this seat here and just talk about your baby, talk about your business, don't be shy. Send me a message, and we can really set you up to have you right here on this seat. This was another episode of Let's Talk About It podcast with Naja Imani, and do not forget to bet on yourself. This is the season. It's the you season.